Intelligent life is upon us. They could be probing us right now. We're watching us from afar, pushing our evolution further. Or they aren't, and we actually are alone in the universe. What you say? With all this new information we have access to, more and more people believe that we have made contact with aliens through evidence and theories discovered by experts and from different fields, though others are extremely against the notion of the possibility of alien contact. So, strap on your tinfoil hats as we thoroughly examine arguments from each side of the extraterrestrial spectrum. Conspiracy theorists around the globe brought together quite an unbelievable amount of evidence that, in fact, aliens have visited Earth and are continuing to visit it on a regular basis. That's right, your neighbors, they're probably aliens. One of the experts from a online journal documenting UFOs and the possibility of alien contact, called The Ancient Code, is here to have an interview with us. So please welcome Mr. John Snow.
Listen to me, there has been several visits from aliens from the history of the Earth. There has been multiple ancient recorded events that would lead to beliefs of alien visitation. According to experts, the Vedas speak about two categories of flying objects that have visited ancient India in the distant past. These mysterious objects were described in Sanskrit writing, where you can find incredible devices and technologies that wouldn't be available for thousands of more years. We just point fingers in alien visitation, since they obviously have superior technology to us. According to Dr. V. Ragham, a well-known Sanskrit scholar and musicologist, 50 years of researching this ancient work had led me to believe that there's living beings on Earth. This guy thinks that there's aliens, therefore there are. There's another ancient thing that happened that might point fingers at the possibility of alien visitation. That is the Thule papyrus from ancient Egypt. The transcription and translation of this modern thing says that in its words itself, in the year 22 of the third month of winter, 6 hours a day, among the scribes of the House of Life, it was found that the strange fiery disc was coming in the sky. It had no head, it had no voice, it was one rod in width. These parallels continue to beg the question of the possibility of aliens being behind human development and could possibly prove modern day sightings have recorded UFOs in the past. These parallels continue throughout history.
Listen to me, the parallels continue throughout history. Like, for instance, in Roman history, numerous objects were reported in the sky in 1504 BC. In modern day Italy, people from the north reported seeing countless objects flying in the sky. In 217, people witnessed shiny discs resembling shields in the sky. These mysterious UFOs were reported in many parts of Europe, not only over modern day Italy. There's not only recorded sightings of UFOs and ETs, but there's also so many famous scientists and so many theorists and so many famous people who are agreeing to our research and who are agreeing to these just undeniable facts from the government. For instance, the NSA published classified information about Sputnik receiving extraterrestrial messages from outer space. Albert Einstein published an entire statement about the possibilities of ETs and how they will land on our planet and how we can defend ourselves from them. Nikola Tesla published "The feeling is growing constantly in me that I've been the first to hear the greetings from one planet to another. A purpose was behind these electrical signals." President Reagan was infatuated with the possibility of alien contact. Hillary Clinton herself was quoted saying, "I think we may have been visited already by aliens. We don't know for sure." This is so much raw evidence. You can't deny it. I am in fact Agent Dana Scully from the FBI working on the X-Files. I'm here to announce that we need to get this information out to the people. You have this undeniable evidence that the government can't keep from you any longer. We're gonna have an alien invasion. On the other hand, we have another interviewee named David J. Eicher, who comes from Huffington Post to explain his completely different radical view of the aliens visiting Earth. Please welcome him.
Look, the reality here is that in my article, Why UFOs Have Never Visited Earth, and probably never will, I show that we experience this drawnness to aliens and blaming everything on aliens because we experience extreme loneliness as a species. These supposed encounters and sightings typically occur in the middle of nowhere, where large numbers of witnesses don't exist, it's really a central part of being human. The longing to not feel alone in the universe.
What you say?
We manifest these hypotheses because we are ultimately alone in the universe. Think about it this way. The Milky Way galaxy is something like 400 billion stars, of which the sun is just one. What are the odds that we're the only one with sentient beings? Well, there are probably aliens somewhere in the universe. UFO proponents and sci-fi writers often too much fail to appreciate is the actual scale of the universe. It is huge, really huge. The scale of the universe is so large that if intelligent beings did exist, Earth would be so incalculably small and insignificant. Aliens would have virtually no way to find a way to visit Earth. I can prove this mathematically any way you put it. If we have light speed technology, it would take 75,000 years from the nearest star, and that's if they're at the nearest star. But I also can debunk other anomalies such as wormholes or faster than the speed of light vehicles. Even if we have this evidence that human witnessing alien communication or contact, it is literally impossible that we will ever be visited by intelligent life.
Another expert from his field, Alan Boyle, writes the article, UFO Fascination Says More About Humans Than About Aliens. Please welcome him as our next guest.
Listen kids, nearly all sightings or discovery of aliens probably does not come from aliens themselves, but rather than the infatuation of aliens in our culture. It's just part of human nature. Just because someone can't explain why an object behaves in a particular way doesn't mean that it's aliens. That's an argument from ignorance, and that's really not a good thing. A number of sightings in the alien community have been disproved by fully explainable phenomena or science, but as soon as something else happens, that you can't explain, all the ETs, all the ET believers just point their fingers at aliens. They don't even care about another explanation. It's kind of like a extraterrestrial alien religion. As soon as you can't explain something, they point their fingers at the least logical thing that could possibly happen. It's just something in human nature that we need to get rid of because it's super dumb.
Well, although it is interesting to contemplate, the possibility that intelligent life has visited and revisited Earth is near impossible. These sightings and evidence are most likely manifested by the human imagination and the belief of not being alone in the universe. Most of the population is completely oblivious to the so-called ET contact, and people who are believers in alien contact again possibly manifested these UFOs or messages through scientifically explainable phenomena to account for our universal loneliness. The fact also remains how insignificant humans are in the universe, and how it is literally impossible to be visited by aliens in our lifetime on Earth. Although it is relative and interesting, the reality is that we are alone in this impossibly big universe. Just like me. Yeah, Bush did 9/11, definitely.